Everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today we got a new trailer for Scream 2022. Just called Scream, but it is effectively Scream 5. I actually did look this up. Yes, it is a continuation from Scream 4. It is not a, like the recent Halloween movies where they just called it Halloween, and they're like, oh, only the first movie counts, and this is like a sequel to that one. This is not that same situation, so this is Scream 5. They're just not calling it Scream 5, which fine, I get it. From a marketing perspective, I'm sure some analyst is like, well, if we don't put a number in there, more people are willing to go check it out or whatever. Also, just like with 4, even, there's going to be a new group of teenagers to kill, basically. So we might have somewhat of a soft reboot situation, which again, some similarities to what they did with Scream 4, and I really like Scream 4. In fact, Scream 4 I think is the second strongest movie in this entire franchise, and I'm a big fan of this franchise. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna jump right into it, but I'm excited for this. I'm a fan of this franchise. This is the first one without Wes Craven, and unfortunately, he passed in 2011, I think. So I don't know what to expect from this. So here we go. Seems like an old phone, right? Do house phones look like that?
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
This is okay. Just starting right off, huh?
All doors locked. Doors unlocked.
Okay, this is getting silly. Is this gonna end up being the stab movie, like the movie within the movie? This is January. Okay.
Hello?
There she is.
3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Something about this one just feels different.
Samantha? I know who you are. I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is gonna keep coming for you. You ready for this? Never.
Oh, stop! Wait!
There's certain rules to surviving.
Yeah, he seems
People related to the original killers.
Dewey's been through some stuff, huh?
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Okay.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Interesting. Okay. January 14th. Now, I will say this much. It is a little strange that it's releasing in January. That's not typically a good sign for movies. Okay, so I'll say... Here, let's go ahead and mute this. This beginning sequence, when they're like unlocking and relocking the door using the app, and someone's like trying to get her to answer the phone, but they're also texting her, which is kind of strange because it's like... Are you not gonna call that cell phone she's holding? I don't know what the situation there is. I'm almost suspecting that it felt more like the parody stab movies that they have inside of the Scream movies. That's what this scene kind of felt like to me, but who knows? Maybe with more context it actually works better. Also, yeah, it looks like Captain Dewey's been through some stuff, which, leads me to believe that unfortunately, maybe like the real life couple, maybe Gale Weathers and Officer Dewey did not stay together. And 4, they seem to be a pretty happily married couple. But in real life, the actors split up. So maybe their characters did too. And he definitely looks pretty rough around the edges. So this is probably the grittiest we've ever actually seen Dewey, which is an interesting take because he's usually a pretty goofy character. I also will say this trailer, it was pretty short, but it did definitely seem to like take itself pretty seriously. So hopefully, hopefully that's not necessarily the tone throughout the whole movie. Obviously there's some serious moments, but it's also like, it's very, does the whole meta self-aware kind of almost, it's not quite a comedy, but at least parts of it kind of play off as a comedy to a degree. Here's my thing about all of this is that this trailer didn't like wow me, and it also, I don't know, hopefully it's just my imagination, but I'm almost getting, I don't know, I almost got like a bad vibe here. I almost got like it doesn't seem as clean somehow. But I don't know, very limited footage. Now the other thing is that like they seem to be very, very much promising, like, oh, this has some connection to their past and something to do with the original characters and all that. And truth be told, they always have something to do with their past, so that's not very significant. So Dewey going like, oh, something feels different about the murders this time or something, which, okay, I guess, I just need more information. I think that's my main thing from this trailer, is that like I wasn't wowed by the trailer, and I also kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm a little concerned about what the tone might be based off this one trailer, but it's a very, very limited information that I'm being given here. So I'm not gonna, make a judgment call on this entire thing based on just that. But I will say that like if the big lure is supposed to be like, oh, this has something to do with their past, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course it does. They all have had something to do with their past, and even the posters for this movie have been like, oh, it's always someone or something like that. Which, again, that's also the case. In fact, most of the time it is people that they know. I guess twice it was not quite people that they knew personally. But in any case, when I think about, we're on number 5. What big twist reveals do you even have left to pull off? I've heard people theorize that, oh, what if one of the new characters, I think it's the one played by Jack Quaid or whatever, what if one of the teenagers is actually somehow Sydney's kid that she gave up for adoption, because it was actually Billy's kid, and in between 1 and 2 she gave the kid up. Like that was, I've heard people like throw around theories like that. It's not impossible, because obviously it would be a retcon that was not originally there. Now here's my other thing, is that number 4 seemed to very much be a commentary on the idea of these semi-reboots, where you have your original cast and then you bring in all these brand new teenagers who somewhat resemble these, like, they somewhat resemble the original cast, almost like modernized versions of that original cast. And that's what 4 was very much kind of a commentary on, and they even have the line at the end, like, don't mess with the original, right? And my main concern is that this movie seems to pretty much be doing the same thing. Like this new girl, it's like, okay, so we're getting another new Sydney and another new group of teenagers who you know, it's understandable, right? Like, you have our main trio here, there's only 3 of them, and they're getting older, so yeah, you gotta introduce new characters and more characters and all that stuff, right? And so my only thing is that, like, it seems like while 4 was like a commentary on the idea of semi reboots and even kind of a, you know, somewhat of a critical analysis of them, 5 seems to just be literally just a semi reboot. Like, you know, like, it's still the original cast, something about their past, but also these new teens. I don't know. Am I gonna care about these new teens at all? Am I gonna care about any of this that's going on? They're gonna have to work for it. You know, if any of these teen actors are supposed to be like well-known faces, I don't know them. You know, I do not watch the right shows or whatever to have any clue who these people are supposed to be, like, actor-wise. But obviously I care about the original trio of people that we've been following, so it's kind of interesting in a way that, like, it's almost mirroring the sort of Star Wars situation where we do have an original trio of characters that I do care about in a new set of movies that maybe they're trying to, like, move on to the next generation, but it's like, I don't know. We'll see. You know, but it's like, is one of these kids gonna end up being the killer? Is one of these people gonna be like, oh, this is one of the characters' long lost daughter or something to that effect? You know, because what other twists do we even have? We've already done, you know, the first one, of course, was Sydney's boyfriend and the friend. The second one was the mom of her boyfriend who was the killer, and just some crazy fanatic guy friend in the friend group. The third one was her long lost brother. The fourth one was her cousin, I guess, and her friend, and they were already trying to be like a riff on the original characters. So what's this fifth one gonna be? It's gotta be someone's kid. That's my thing. It has to be someone's kid. It's gonna be Dewey and Gale's kid. It has to have some kind of connection to Sydney, right? What else do you got left? You know, she had a sister the whole time, or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for more Scream content. I'm a big fan of the franchise, and you know, with that Wes Craven, I don't know how this is gonna go. If it's gonna have the wrong tone. I'll admit, this opening sequence here where she's on the app, like, locked doors, and then someone's unlocking them, and I don't know, for some reason it just, like, something about this is bothering me. It's not quite working, and like I said, it almost like they did it like 3 or 4 times, so it was almost reaching like the parody type level. I don't know. Also, look, she's got police, fire, and ambulance, like, right there. She could press like all 3 of those, and you know, I just noticed this. She could press like all 3 of these on this app or whatever she's using, so it seems very easy to, like, this situation could be, I don't know, handled if you got this app. That's the other thing, is that, like, you know, they sort of commented on this in Scream 4, where they were dealing with sort of like, oh, the killer's trying to live stream the murders or film them and put them on the internet, and this was really right before live streaming and Twitch and all that really blew up and became a thing. So now this new Scream is gonna have to kind of deal with that aspect of it. It's like, okay, technology's gotten even wider and crazier than it was in 2011 or 10 or whatever. You know, it's like, now we don't just have smartphones, but like our smartphones can do everything, like they showed here, and you know, that was cool. You know, like, yeah, our phones have apps that are connected to our lights in our house and our security system, and you know, it's easier than ever to call the police. You know what I mean? It's you can call the police so easily. In fact, even if you can't call the police, you can, you know, if someone's being attacked, I can be like, okay, well, look, if I can't get a hold of anybody for whatever reason and no one's gonna show up in time, at the very least I can try and, like, live stream this, you know, put a camera on. That way, if you know, if there's any sort of evidence I can gather, you know, like anything, like if I can unmask the person or if I can somehow escape, it's like, okay, everyone, the cops can see all this or something. I don't know. My point is, they're gonna have to deal with the technology of it all. For me, this movie's got a lot of, it's got some hurdles to jump over that, you know, had Wes Craven been around, wouldn't necessarily be the case, you know. So it's gonna have to prove itself a little bit to me. I wasn't like, I guess that's my biggest problem, is that like this trailer seems kind of plain and predictable, and I wasn't left with anything going like, oh my god, that's gonna be the big thing of the movie, you know. Like, it was just kind of, didn't see anything special yet. So I don't know, hopefully another trailer, another teaser. But it's coming out in January, and that's a little concerning because that's usually where studios kind of just throw movies to just go away. So we'll find out how this ends up. I'm a little nervous, but I'm not gonna like fully doubt it yet. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're fans of the Scream franchise and how you feel about this movie. You know, it's in the hands of different people for the first time in the franchise. It's not in the hands of Wes Craven, and I don't know how this is gonna end up. You know, this trailer didn't like get me super hyped, so I still don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.